Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of Monroe County Sheriff's Office, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Judge Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. My name is Chris Chichester. I'm demanding information from you that you will refuse to provide to me because you're corrupt. The information that interests me the most is the identification of my prosecutors of silence, as I have been in jail 6 times, and a prosecutor has never talked in court. There is not one sentence, not one word, one sound ever. Every time I appear in court, a prosecutor is assigned to that appearance. I'm being prosecuted by fanatics in total silence, and you have been refusing for 18 months at the District Attorney's Office to disclose the names of my prosecutors of silence. I expected you to refuse, you disgusting sick hack Perry Duckles, when I contacted you on January 1 to demand disclosure of the names of my prosecutors of silence, because I'll begin a process to disbar each with the Appellate Division of State Supreme Court. I am in a state of shock that when I asked the same question to the Monroe County Public Defender's Office for Public Defender Mark Phillips, Public Defender Regina Harper, any Public Defender Julie Sianka, each refuses to disclose the names of my prosecutors of silence. Insane is a word I've used over and over. It is insane for a district attorney's office not to disclose the name of a prosecutor in a public proceeding. That's a courtroom. It's insane for a public defender not to disclose the names of a prosecutor. This is the documentation I have been using that's in your office. I have communicated with you using registered mail return receipt where the green card comes back to me, when your employees sign for it, where it says on the Freedom of Information Law to identify my prosecutors of silence. I have communicated with you using UPS, demanding names of my prosecutors of silence, and Federal Express. You refused every single time. Federal Express arrived in your office today because I have the receipt here from 48 hours ago that I'm going to read. You have the most recent documentation. The reason why I'm holding this up, on December 22nd, 2022, here's all your emails here at Psychopaths Incorporated, Sheriff's Office, District Attorney's Office, Public Defender's Office. December 22nd, 2022, comply with the attached PDF dated December 22nd, 2022. There's 67 Freedom of Information Law documents. You assigned this documentation when it's dated December 24th, 2022 and December 26th, 2022. This attached PDF will arrive at your office via United Postal Service tomorrow. Hatred is called. Hatred is an excellent word to describe you psychopaths, the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office. In this 67-page foil, I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors, which are going to hold them up. 4 days later, December 26th, different email here. Todd, Baxter, Sandra, Doorley, here's all your emails up here. You receive in 24 to 48 hours via United Postal Service 67 Freedom of Information Law documents dated December 26, 2022. This documentation was also mailed via UPS to your office December 22nd. The file is attached in PDF. It's called Lawless. Mail the information I demand to the UPS address listed below to include identification of my prosecutor's silence. December 26th. Prosecutors talk to court, you sociopaths, the District Attorney's Office. So when you sociopaths are in court, make an argument that the defendant committed a crime. That's the way it works in the United States of America. But that's not the way it works at your little shack at 47 South Fitzhugh. This is you, Perry Duckles. I've read this. And you've received it. You received this, either UPS or registered mail return receipt. And if you open it, you looked at it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it says here to you, I'm just going to read the first 2 graphs. January 2023. I wrote this on January 2023. So I could say, moving forward, every day of the new year, that I'm demanding you disclose the names of my prosecutors. January, February, March. 3 months later, I still don't know who these sociopaths are. Is Julie Hahn my prosecutor in front of John P. Lomenzo Jr., who didn't win, he was on Monroe County Court? What's the name of the 5'2" 3-piece suit boy that has my concocted charges before $28,000 bald-headed, skin-headed widow Paul C. Metzer in Patrick Court? In my last appearance before Alex Renzi in the New York State Supreme Court, when he told me I was finished and done, former employee of the district attorney's office, who's a prosecutor's judge. I had two females standing behind me, and he told me I was finished and done, which is not true, and this will be a record of me saying that's not true, because all it takes is one of you psychopaths, one of you Mike Knifon clones in the district attorney's office to write the warrant. I'll be filed and stalked in Monroe County, presented in front of a corrupt judge like Alex Renzi, and there I'll be in jail again, languishing in jail. Every single time I'm in jail, I'm not told how long I'm going to be in jail. So Perry Duckles, one of you psychopaths at the district attorney's office, did that to me with Alex Renzi. And who is it? This is to you, Perry Duckles, attached a PDF, 61-page Freedom of Information Law document dated December 20, 2022 that arrived in your office via UPS. This documentation also arrived December 22nd, 2022, December 26, 2022 via UPS. It was tracked. You have it. Print each, bring it to your corrupt boss, District Attorney Sandra. Doorley tells pathetic accumulation of health afflictions. Send the information to my UPS address listed below. It includes the names on prosecutor's files. This is the address, 620 Park Avenue, PMB, number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604. 3 months ago. It's been 18 months. January 12th, I'm communicating with you. Here. There's all your emails right here. That's the first page, because I use Proton now. This is January 12th, where it says here. This is in your office. You blow it off in your email. I don't understand. This is in your office. You have it. Comply with the attached PDF dated January 12, 2023 that is 70 Freedom of Information Law documents. This attached PDF will arrive at your office via registered mail return receipt from the United States Postal Service. Small mail the information on demand to the address below Rochester. This includes the names of prosecutor's files. It's called corrupt. One with the most basic word for you there. The sheriff's office and district attorney's office. So that was January 12th. January 14th, Jansen McNair, the patronage hire at the Office of Public Integrity. He's a patronage hire because Jansen McNair is a former employee of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and there he is as the Director of Public Integrity, where he has a massive conflict of interest. Ground zero for corruption in Monroe County is you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and your fellow psychopaths. And here is this former employee of the Sheriff's Office, patronage hire at the Office of Public Integrity, who's also returning my mail, just like the Public Defender's Office is. So I guess that he watched me on YouTube, where I'm ridiculing him and mocking him. Patronage hire Jansen McNair. And I'm going to demand from him, it says, YouTube to Jansen McNair, Office of Public Integrity. You know what, Michael Radler? Jansen McNair is paid a salary. And I'd like to know if he's a double dipper, meaning that he retired, he's got his 20 years at the Sheriff's Office, and he's paid his second paycheck. You, Michael Radler, on the payroll, I thought you were a double dipper. And I was incorrect. Because there you are on the payroll. When I got the payroll, went right to your name. $0, Michael Radler. You paid private campaign money to go into the sheriff's office. $0, Michael Radler. So, corrupt Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi, right here. I'm telling you again, even though it's not in the writing, I'm saying over and over in that YouTube. Disclose the names of my prosecutors, which is what I say here on January 18th. Apply with the attached PDF dated January 18, 2023. There's 70 Freedom of Information Law documents. This attached PDF will arrive at the office of your registered mail return receipt via United States Postal Service tomorrow. Mail the information man to my address below in Rochester. This includes the names on prosecutor's silence. I am astounded that this is in your office on January 18th, UPS. Sandra Doorley looks at this, sees my address here, Christopher Church, 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604, and she refuses. That is astounding to me. Astounding in its corruption and its abuse of power. Your entire nauseating, sick, repulsive existence at that district attorney's office is abuse of power. Tell me the names of my prosecutors, you hacks, sociopaths. January 24th, the perfect word or a perfect word, because there are many perfect words to describe corruption. This is one of my favorites. You're freaks. January 24th, Sandra Doorley, District Attorney, 47 South Fitch, Rochester, New York, Todd Baxter, Sheriff 30, South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14604. You're freaks. Apply with the attached PDF dated January 24, 2023. There's 70 free information law documents. This attached PDF will arrive in your office via registered mail return receipt. The United States Postal Service mail the information on demand below to Rochester, New York. This includes my prosecutor's silence. This is called fanaticism, perjury, or violence. Perjurer Michael C. Houlihan walked onto the private property of my 72-year-old neighbor and hid with $85,000 Don Benedetto 2 years ago. I come out of my residence, out the back porch. I walk alongside my residence. Benedetto and Houlihan came running toward me. Pay attention to Benito Mussolini skinhead Todd Baxter. I've said this to you now repeatedly, including on here. I never stop running. These are corrupt cops. And since you, Todd Baxter, are a corrupt cop, you love to surround yourself with corrupt cops like Michael C. Houlihan, who is also a perjurer. I'm going to tell you why he perjured himself. It's real simple. Benedetto Hoolan came running at me. I never stopped running. When I get to the back porch, I grab a hammer I used to fix my bike. I place my foot on the first of 3 steps to run through the sliding glass door. Michael C. Houlihan grabs my arm. The hammer goes up to pull away. I run through the sliding glass door on the body camera footage of Michael C. Houlihan or Don Benedetto. I say, fuck you. I ran the whole time. Michelle Crowley convenes the grand jury when Michael C. Houlihan states in the grand jury that I swung a hammer at him when I ran the whole time, and that's on the body camera footage. Michael C. Houlihan perjures himself. And that doesn't matter to you, Todd Baxter, because you're corrupt, because you embrace abuse of power. You sent Michael C. Houlihan and Don Benedetto to stalk me in Penfield, New York that night. Respond to what I said just now. This is what I tell the Department of Justice. This is in the Office of the Department of Justice. I have not written them directly yet. Trinity Ross, the United States Attorney, that's in Buffalo. And I will also contact the Office of Attorney General Merrick Garland in Washington, D.C., where I used to ride my bike by. So I worked on Capitol Hill for 5 years. Violence, Richard J. Siegman. So I have fanaticism, Todd Baxter, Sandra, Doorley, Alex Renzi, perjurer, 73,312, Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Violence, Sheriff Todd Gay Baxter, 75,904, Richard J. Siegman. Richard J. Siegman, another psychopath for the Sheriff's Office, stalked me into the Penfield Public Library. I stand up at the computer. Siegman runs at me, extends his arm, slams me in the head. It's the force of Siegman's arm slamming me in the head. I fell down, then my head hits a ceramic tile. So violent attack upon me, and I'll write a criminal complaint about him. Siegman won't be fired or arrested. They take me down the hall, and there's this bald-headed widow, Paul C. Metzer, and $28,000 salary waiting for me. She declares me guilty something. I can't be in Monroe County Jail because of what I've done to you on YouTube. And I'm driven to Livingston County Jail in Geneseo, where Thomas J. Doherty is the sheriff. That's the sick lunatic fringe. When I live in Penfield, I live in Monroe County. I've lived in Monroe County, Webster, Penfield, now in the city of Rochester for 10 years. And here I am in Livingston County Jail in Geneseo. And when I would go to the kiosk to demand when I'm going to be released, this is what I'm told by Regina Harper, the public defender's office, quote, the judge is holding you. And how's that constitutional, Perry Duckles? This bald-headed, sick, disgusting hack, Paul C. Metz, was holding me as one person in Livingston County Jail when a prosecutor's not present that day and there's no jury verdict. You know why there's no jury verdict? Because there aren't 12 seats for a jury in Penfield Town Court. You repulsive, sick hack, Perry Duckles. There's no table for a prosecutor. There's no table for a defense attorney. There's not even a witness box for testimony. And everybody's guilty in this little room. And you love the fact that everybody's guilty in this little room. January 26th. This is in your office. This is also in the Office of the United States Attorney, Trinity Ross. Apply detached PDF dated January 26, 2023 to 73 informational documents. This includes identification of my prosecutor's silence. Mailing the information I demand, the address on the form. These are the links here. And I went with one word with each. Fanaticism. Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra, Judge Alex Renzi. Perjurer, 73,312, Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Violence. Sheriff Todd Gay Baxter, $75,904, Richard J. Seaton. Rejection. Sheriff Todd Baxter, Sandra Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi. Accountability. Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi. Language requires precision. I strive for it. Fanaticism. You're fanatics. You're refusing to comply with the law. I'm being violently attacked by sworn officers of the law. I'm being delivered to jail when sworn officers of the court don't talk. That's why you're fanatics. Perjurer. Houlihan lied under oath. There's no doubt about that. When Michelle Crowley meets that grand jury, if it's you, Michelle Crowley, somebody else, and you ask Michael C. Houlihan what happened on my back porch, when Michael C. Houlihan states that I swung a hammer at him, when the body camera shows that I move forward constantly, he purges himself. Violence. Richard J. Stevens, as simple as it gets. He's slamming his arm to the side of my head. I saw him again when I was arrested for double jeopardy on Penfield Road. You arrested me twice for this fiction and fantasy land in the head of Michael C. Houlihan. I was in Monroe County Jail for 5 days because of double jeopardy. Because the warrant was still out there. And what'd you do? You followed me, you stalked me, you tracked me. Again. I'm going to talk more about double jeopardy later. Rejection. Todd Baxter, Sandra Doorley, Alex Renzi. Simple rejection. You rejected my falls. I do not know who's prosecuting me. 18 plus months later, 2 months later, 18 months later, 24 months later, pardon me, I still do not know the names of these hacks, sociopaths, and you have their names in the district attorney's office, and it's insane not to disclose these names to me. Accountability, Todd Baxter, Sandra Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi. This Alex Renzi and his $208,000 salary, I was in there, I ridiculed him. Because he went to Powerhouse Law School, Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I said to him, he had to go all the way to Atlanta. He couldn't find a law school to go to in New York. Because when I go into court, I'm trying to enrage these judges. I'm confident he was enraged. Alex Renzi, when I was at my Tempe residence, which I'm not going to say, but the address is 70 Liberty Pole Way, because I was evicted from where I live in Penfield, I get this document in the mail. It's how easy it is to be in jail. And one of you psychopaths, the district attorney's office, assigned to disappearance. And who is it? I'm in there. I walk in there. I look at him. He's up on this ridiculous 20-foot high bench where he looks down at everybody. I was in there. I almost laughed when I'm looking at him. I'm looking up at him like this. And he remanded me to Monroe County Jail for a 7:30 mental health evaluation. Why? I'm going to contact the State Department of Health and the Office of Mental Health in Albany. I know exactly where those offices are because I worked in the Capitol for 7 years. They're in the agency buildings. The agency buildings are the 4 buildings right next to the Capitol. I'm going to contact the director of the State Department of Health, the director of the Office of Mental Health. I'm going to tell them about Alex Renzi wielding his 7:30 mental health evaluation upon me to humiliate me. Alex Renzi wants to examine the contents of my head, and one of you psychopaths at the district attorney's office is assigned to that appearance. So then I'm in Monroe County Jail waiting for the 7:30. Why do you think I'm free? Because I'm competent by the 7:30. And I'm going to get to how this has been abused to me too. So here I am. I'm in Monroe County Jail, in a different part of the jail. And the fights at this part of the jail were the most ferocious I have seen yet. And I've seen fights every time I've been in jail because I could hear them fighting above me. So here I am, subject to these violent inmates, watching these fights where I had to give a statement. I had to give a statement in Monroe County Jail for a fight, a statement in Livingston County Jail for a fight. And here I am at Monroe County Jail because Alex Renzi decided I needed a 7:30 mental health evaluation. How's that constitutional? I asked him that directly. I've not contacted him yet about that. February 1, 2023, Lisa Gray, special counsel to the district attorney. Lisa Gray, what are the names of my prosecutors? Christopher Chichester, 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York 14604. What's not to understand, Lisa Gray? Look at my face. What are the names of my prosecutors? Christopher.Chichester at mail.com. Christopher.Chichester@mail.com. Mail it to me. YouTube, Perry Duckles, Monroe County District Attorney's Office. I'm talking to you directly again, telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors. Perjurer, $73,000. Michael Houlihan, Violence Reach JC, but those links are the same. This is a email.com account, but who got this is Chief of the local courts, Elizabeth Buckley. When Kyle Steinbach was the chief or deputy chief of the courts, when I first got out of jail, the first time I emailed him, I said, what are the names of my prosecutors? This is the 1984 of Kyle Steinbach's head, where the first time I get him out in County Jail, I say, what are the names of my prosecutors? And he emails me back and says, we don't discuss open cases. I reply, I say, it's not open, I'm home. What are their names? And he refused. And he lost from Monroe County Court. He's probably in delusion and denial as far as why he lost. February 2nd, 2023, Psychopath Inc., Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi. Psychopath Inc. is how I refer to all of you. Then I have a YouTube. This is one of the most hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. In talking to my ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, who I've known since I was 20 years old, and we lived at 3 different residences together. Laura took all my things from where we used to live at 26 Sanders from Drive to a storage locker in Webster without a court order, because my 2 psychopath landlords, Giuseppe Spano, who's dead at 47 years old with multiple sclerosis, and Antonino Spano, the 80-year-old father, demanded I should be evicted. I'm being evicted. The doors are being locked. My things are being taken out of my residence by an ex-girlfriend. Went out of court order and without my knowledge. When I got out of Livingston County Jail, I ran down Pempe Road. I got to the front door. I have a key. It doesn't open the front door. I run around to the back porch where I have a key with a New York Mets logo. That doesn't open the front door. They changed the locks on me. They fixed the sliding glass door that was broken. This is all being done without a court order. I'm locked out. I walked to Harris Whalen Park. I slept in that park for 3 weeks. I'm sleeping in Harris Whalen Park for 3 weeks because of you, Sandra Doorley, and you, Todd Baxter, and your fellow psychopaths, Paul C. Metzger, John P. Menzo Jr., James P. Money Jr., Penton Court, and Alex Renzi. I'm sleeping on that bench in that park around wild animals and strangers past midnight when I'm locked out without a court order, and I'm locked out because of what you did to me at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office, and you better goddamn well tell me the names of these prosecutors assigned to my court appearances, Barry Douglas. This is called anger. I guarantee you have the same anger as I have. If you were in jail 6 times and 6 times a prosecutor talk court, and if you have nothing, my dress screens with 17 carry, 101st Airborne Division are gone. My 1,000+ books are gone. My running jerseys are gone. My running shoes are gone. My bed is gone. My couch is gone. My television is gone. My laptops are gone. Every single thing I own is gone. Being in jail 6 times and 6 times a prosecutor hasn't talked in court. And when I write the criminal complaint about Antonino Spano of Fairport, New York, doing this to me, Antonino Spano won't be arrested. Because we can't prosecute an 80-year-old man when that's ludicrous. February 4th, 2023. I once had enormous respect for Regina Harper and Mark Phillips at Public Defender's Office. And that's now evaporated. And this is the reason why. February 4th, I'm on YouTube. YouTube, for Regina Harper, Mark Phillips, and Monmouth County Public Defender's Office. They don't tell me the names of my prosecutors. Psychopaths Inc. Again, that's the same link. Here's for Regina and Mark. Here's your addresses here, 10 North Fitzhugh. It says right here, February 4th. This is in their office, too, which they return my mail to me, I should say. So it's not in their office. This here, I sent this to Regina Harper, Mark Phillips, where it says, mail the names of my prosecutors signed to my court against the address listed below in Rochester, New York. And they return my mail to me. Julie Sianka, Monroe County Public Defender. You know the answer. What are the names of my prosecutors? Monroe County Public Defender, Julie Sianka. Christopher.Chichester@mail.com. 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York. February 5th, information, just as basic as you can get. Information, comply with the February 5th. Sandra and Todd Baxter. Comply with the attached Freedom of Information Law documents. Mail the names of my prosecutors signed by court appearance. Listed below in Rochester, New York. You refused. That was the cover letter, and I printed out so you can see your emails up here. Everybody in the district attorney's office has that. If you're in jail at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, and you're innocent, and you're demanding disclosure, the identities of the psychopaths doing this to you, and there's a refusal, I agree, I guarantee you have the same level of anger that I have. I'm not an angry person. I have anger when I'm on here, and it should be obvious that I have anger because I'm an innocent man. No citizen should be in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court, and that's happened to me 6 times. What are the names of my prosecutors, Perry Duckles? February 5th. This is the Blue Wall Silence, February 6th. Blue Wall Silence, Richard J. Seidman violently attacked me at the Penfield Public Library. He won't be fired because Todd Baxter is the most ridiculous cop cliche there is. I walked to Gold's Gym in Fairport. I get to the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans. 5 Monroe County Sheriff Office vehicles converge upon me. A Monroe County Sheriff Office employee ran at me, knocked me down. My head slammed down on concrete pavement. There are 10 plus witnesses at the sheriff's office to this. 5 vehicles there. Your employee, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and employees of the sheriff's office, Michael Rather, Scott Alberti, William Tadeo, and Kathleen Miller. Your employee with the Marine-style haircut and tattoos, the female, knows the identity of this violent psychopath who attacked me. And if you ask her, did you see a violent attack of a citizen at the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans at 2157 Penfield Road? You know what she's going to say? The Blue Wall Silence. That's why this is called the Blue Wall Silence. I talked about that on here. In this link here on February 6th, you took the Blue Wall Silence, how being violently attacked, it doesn't matter to you. Sworn officers of law with a holstered weapon and the badge of common thugs and criminals. This is my letter here to Robert J. Valenti, MPA, MHA, MSL, Community Employment Coordinator, VA Finger Lakes Healthcare System, Rochester Caucus VA Clinic. Robert works for the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. I emailed him. Man with the highest character, integrity, heart of gold. I would be sleeping outside right now if it wasn't for Robert and how Robert has helped me. And I say this to him. I hope your work is recognized. It's a recognition of excellence. You possess its values of hard work, decency, and passion. This is the fundamental decency of the human heart. Today, the best things are not possible. The average things that were lost are present. It's terrific. Thank you for your dedication to the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, because now it's finding a life, hope for a life of fulfillment. The reason why I read that is, does life matter how you live your life when you make a first court appearance? Because I had a speeding ticket in Albany, New York, speeding ticket in Washington, D.C., both were dismissed. Does serving your country matter? I'm one of millions of veterans, and I have contempt for veterans that believe they should have automatic praise because they serve their country. Because you don't know anything about someone just by declaring that they're a veteran. They could have an Article 15, they could have been chaptered out, they could have been forced out, could have been any number of things in their record. You just don't know. Just because you're a veteran doesn't make you some kind of heroic figure in the United States. I have an Army Commendation Medal. I have an Army Achievement Medal. I'm a graduate of the Air Assault School. That's my DD 214 with all that on there. ARCOM, AAM. Reason why I showed it's not for narcissism. My original that I had in my 1980 Mercury Capri when I drove home from 2nd Squadron, 17th Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division is gone. I had to get a copy. I had to write the Department of Defense to get a copy of my DD-214. This is because of Paul C. Metzler and John P. Metzler Jr. in Penfield Town Court and Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. All you psychopaths, the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, where I no longer have a copy of my original DD-214. This is why I despise, detest you psychopaths, that district attorney's office and sheriff's office. I will absolutely hate you, Todd Baxter, and hate you, Sandra Doorley, until I'm 6 feet under, because I don't have my original. This is called anger. So, February 9th, silence of violence. Words require precision. The silence of the district attorney's office is delivering to me to jail. It's being accompanied by the violence of the sheriff's office. Silence and violence. Not one word from you psychopaths. Defective. Print the PDF documents. Read the PDF documents. District Attorney Sandra, Todd Baxter, Alex Renzi. Alex Renzi will never send me a list of defendants in the New York State Supreme Court because he's above the law. You see that movie with Steven Seagal? Alex Renzi is above the law, and so are you, Todd Baxter, so are you, Sandra Doorley, and all your employees. The law doesn't apply to you. The law is a joke to you. Blue wall silence right here. Been famous since at least Frank Serpico in New York City in the 1970s. Effective February 10th. Some of these I think I may have read before. Michelle Crowley. The convening grand jury, Michael Houlihan and Don Benedetto. This is called misconduct on Chief of Grand Jury Bureau, Michelle Crowley, February 12th. This is on YouTube. If you didn't watch it, you're watching me now and you didn't see this, go to YouTube and type your name, Michelle Crowley, and you see me talking to you. I'm your ham sandwich. You know how easy it is to be a ham sandwich? I'd like to show you the new ham sandwich in the United States of America. Since I know what it's like to be a ham sandwich. Here he is right here. This is America's new ham sandwich. I'm not going to get into the politics of that because I try to stay away from politics, but this Alvin Bragg in Manhattan is an absolute sickening, nauseating, repulsive, disgusting disgrace, and he should face the same type of punishment that all my prosecutors of silence should face. Disbarment. So, misconduct. This is how I come to the attention of the sheriff's office. It doesn't matter. You have this in your office. It was sent to you, UPS, registered mail return receipt, FedEx, because this is February 16th. I include this document on the new documents. Sheriff Todd Baxter, $16,000 pay raise freak, $83,291 and 42 cents Shannon M.R. How did you decide to pay this disgusting sick hack 42 cents, Todd Baxter? This is why you're a joke. Read the attached PDF that's freedom of information law. Comply with the attached PDF that's freedom of information law. Disclose and answer prosecutor's silence. Resign. This freak, Shannon M.R., wrote a warrant for my arrest for a parking lot I've walked for 4,000 times. I could talk about that again. But, Todd baby, this is it's not the high resolution color photo. We should be able to see it. That's a surveillance device. Is this private technology, you Benito Mussolini skinhead, that belongs to a business called Consumer Insights, 2025 Penfield Road? You buy it and fix it for me. I call this thing a surveillance device, and you're calling Lindsey Barron, the Monroe County Office of Mental Health, to come to my residence. I talked about that too. I'm on this thing over and over. Regina Harper has sent me the links, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. I'll repeat myself. Is this private technology that belongs to 2025 Penfield Road, where Elliot Ross is the president of a business called Consumer Insights? Or did you buy it and fix it for me? So, pay raise freak. The nightmare cop for every citizen in Monroe County is $83,000 Shannon Meyer, who you will not fire. Because you love to surround yourself with freaks like her, because you, Todd Baxter, are a nightmare cop. All you know is being a cop. You're there in Greece, then you were there at the Veterans Outreach Center, and then you were elected sheriff. Your whole miserable life is being a cop. What the hell do you know about life, Todd Baxter? YouTube Cygnus District Attorney Sandra, Todd Baxter, Judge Alex Renzi, who forced me into Alex Renzi. It's the prosecutor signed to it, to the appearance. $208,000 this fossil is paid. Read the attached PDF, disclose names on prosecutor silence, mail names on prosecutor silence, the address below, resign. Sickness answers at First District Attorney Perry Duckles. It says P. Duckles at monroecounty.gov. Your name is here. I contacted you on January 1. What's the problem? The problem is you're corrupt. Perry Duckles. One judge, the corruption of Sheriff Todd Baxter and District Attorney Sandra Doorley. As I worked a long time ago for the Majority Leader Ralph J. Marino and Governor George E. Pataki from 1991 to 1998 in Albany. If somebody would ask me during that whole 8 years, can one judge determine guilt or innocence? You go to jail because of one judge? I would have said absolutely not. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous is the law in the state of New York, and that needs to be changed. I'm in the process of moving back to Albany. I'm on Park Avenue now. And I will ask to meet with state legislature about changing that law. One judge is the destruction of a life. How you can possibly look at this bald-headed $28,000 widow, Paul C. Metzler, and allow her to determine guilt or innocence is insane. Same thing with James Finelli Jr. and John P. Lomenzo Jr. It is insane to force citizens of Monroe County into that Penfield Town Court and redirect defendants away from these two hacks. I said this to you repeatedly. You can have them appear in any courtroom in Monroe County you want them to appear in front of this $28,000 bald-headed widow and this $34,000 sociopath, James Finelli Jr. James Finelli Jr., I've contacted you about Jessica Wagner, District Attorney's Office, Jermaine Benman. What am I talking about? So, one judge, corruption, Todd, Baxter, Sandra, Doorley, you 2-4 Monroe County Public Defender, Mark Phillips, Regina Harper. February 20th, I'm telling Mark Phillips, Regina Harper, disclose names on prosecutors. Not one word, not one sound, one syllable. February 22nd, disclose names on prosecutors. This is your office. It's in your office. UPS, registered mail return receipt, FedEx. Insane District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, Sheriff Todd, Baxter, Alex Renzi, one judge, 4 Monroe County Public Defender, Mark Phillips. What I do is I'm on YouTube 2, 3, 4 times. I'll take all 3 links. I'll write a cover letter, and I'll send it to you. So I can be here on YouTube saying I sent it to you. The most basic word, identification. What are the names? What are the names of my prosecutors? Here are all your emails here. On February 22nd, 2023, you received from Federal Express the attached PDF documentation. Mail the names of my prosecutors, Sandra, the address below 620 Park Avenue, Rochester, New York. Resign. Identification that I have a YouTube here for G&D Mikowski, Esquire, because I'm seeking private representation. What I'm going to do to you civilly. Because I don't have civil and constitutional rights in the state of New York. Here's Perry Duckles here on February 25th, 2023. So I contact you on January 1, again on February 25th. Perry Douglas, Monroe County District Attorney's Office, 47 South Fitzhugh, Rochester, New York. Mail the names of your prosecutors silent to my court appearance. The address below 620 Park Avenue, Rochester, New York. Apply with the attached Freedom of Information Law and PDF. There's your salary, $113,000. You paid $113,000 to refuse to identify my prosecutor's silence. That's insane. And again, here on the same link from Monroe County Public Defender Julie Siaka, identify my prosecutor's silence. I understand that if this corrupt Leviathan District Attorney's Office doesn't want to disclose their own corruption, the public defender is refusing to disclose these names to me too. That's insane. So again, I try to go with basic one-word language. Describing freaks. Freaks is a perfect word for you, District Attorney's Office, Sheriff's Office, pardon me. February 26th, mail the names on prosecutors signed to my court appearance. The address below 620 Park Avenue in New York. Read the attached Freedom of Information Law document that was sent to the United States Attorney to the West District of New York Attorney. Your office resign. Freaks again. Perry Duckles again. Julie Siaka, I don't hear anything. So, over and over and over, I'm demanding these names from you. This is a blank Freedom of Information Law. I hope to send this to you at least 3 times in the next 10 days, where I'm demanding out-of-state travel for you. And if you have settled employment-related discrimination lawsuits under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, is this sexual harassment at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office? You refuse to answer that for 18 months. This is blank. I'm going to fill this out. You're going to refuse every single time. What I just read to you there, this is UPS. Ship date, Thursday, March 30th. So it's the weekend. This is Saturday. Janice McNair. This is what's going to happen. Janice McNair is going to send this back to me. There's his name right there. He's the first one. They staple this in no particular order. When Janice McNair sends this back to me, the patronage hire at the Office of Public Integrity, former employee of the Sheriff's Office, I'm going to come back here and say, told you so. It is a disgrace that he's in his office. I'm going to demand his salary, too. Is he a double dipper? Because guess who's double dipper? You, Todd Baxter. And you're arrogant about being a double dipper. Your whole miserable life is fleecing taxpayers, Todd K. Baxter. Why don't you get a real job? So, Regina Harper, Public Defender's Office, Mark Phillips, Public Defender's Office. I'm going to send a Freedom of Information Law for the salaries at the Public Defender's Office. This is Trini Ross. Miss Ross is in Buffalo. Alex Renzi, I'm going to demand a list of defendants from him. His $208,000 fossil doesn't know what's going on. He's totally oblivious to facts and circumstances of his defendants. Because just like Paul C. Metzler, just like James Finelli Jr., just like John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court, Alex Renzi looks at the concocted charge, the fiction, the lie on paper, and that's how he makes the decision to remand a citizen to jail or sentence a citizen to jail. I'm in there with this fossil who has murder cases. Who made the decision to send me into Alex Renzi's to prosecute assigned to, and who is it? Perry Duckles, right here. You have it. This is going to arrive today. Today's arriving. I know it's the weekend, but on Monday you'll get it. Perry Douglas, Christopher.Chichester@mail.com, 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604. Tell me the names of my prosecutors. Michelle Crowley, how do you possibly convene this grand jury of 18 to 24 anonymous idiots and not call me as a witness? How do you convene this grand jury of 18 to 24 anonymous idiots and I don't know it's convened? How? Tell me the answer, Michelle Crowley. What is wrong with you? Do you enjoy and embrace the obliteration of a life, destroying a human being with a grand jury? And the answer is yes, you do. Is Sandra Doorley here? Everything I just read in that pile, the district attorney's going to get, and it's not going to matter to her. Because she's indifferent to a justice. Zone A, Panorama Trail. That's where I think Richard J. Seatman is, who violently attacked me. I don't have the name here. I can't remember off the top of my head who it is at Zone A. I don't know if that's Todd Thurston or not. And then I have, this is the Community Engagement Deputy. That's Todd Thurston. So at Panorama Trail is Todd Thurston, who I previously have said to him that Richard J. Seatman is a violent fanatic and he should be fired. Not because he attacked me, because that doesn't matter to you. That's irrelevant. Because Richard J. Seatman will violently attack other innocent citizens. That's why Richard J. Seatman should be fired. When I write the assault complaint about him, he won't be fired, he won't be arrested. Nothing's going to happen to this fanatic. And the last one here is to Todd Baxter. So everything I just read there, you have. And you have it FedEx too. FedEx, registered mail return receipt. I'm going to update the Freedom of Information law, like I said. I'm going to put your names on here. Every name I mentioned is going to get this. Julie Siak, the Monmouth County Public Defender's Office, Mark Phillips, Regina Harper, sign for this. And tell me the names of my prosecutors. So, the number of times, the foil. I moved from this loft I was in Rochester. That's how many times. Look at all that documentation. I think there's 2,000 pages down there. So this is the foil. This is blank. I'm going to fill this out over and over and over. You're going to refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors. The absolute consuming fanaticism and hatred of you, Todd Baxter, is coming to my residence to man my little guy. This labor Kumar and A-Rod shot you've unleashed upon me because of $83,000 psychopath Shannon Meyer. One phone call from this labor Kumar and A-Rod shot 2033 Pemberton Road, and there's 2 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees at my door demanding my little guy. 4,000 times in 7 years I walked my little guy. People love their dogs with every fiber of their being. That's the way it's supposed to be. Nothing special because you love your dog. He would do things that would make me laugh out loud. Like coming up to me and just jumping right on me, either in bed or when I'm sitting down like I am now, coming up to me, licking my face. I have another 200 boring stories about him that all dog owners have. 7 years and 4,000 times, one phone call from Layla Kumar and A-Rod shot 2033 Pemberton Road at 2 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees in this vicious confrontation at my front door with the employee of Penfield Animal Control demanding him. His name was Alex when I went in 2012 to the Lollipop Farm Humane Society. I laughed because when I was a United States Senate employee, my colleague, Alex Heck, who was an attorney, sat behind me in the Russell Senate office building. I said to my then girlfriend, I cannot have him named Alex. So I changed his name to Boom Boom. He's named after former WBA lightweight champion Ray Renzi because he's champion. When I slammed the door on the 2 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees, I went back to his dog bed. My mother and father got me. I put him on my shoulder. I thought I was going to completely lose it. It's not the first time I thought I was going to completely lose it because of what you've been doing to me at that sheriff's office and district attorney's office, where a prosecutor's never talked in court, and I have been in jail 6 times. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. You, Todd Baxter, you, Sandra Doorley, you, Alex Renzi, you, Paul C. Metzler, you, James Finley Jr. are a threat to justice everywhere.